Shalom, family, and welcome back to another edition of Major TV Black Talk News and Entertainment. I am Achoti Tamar, and it's with a heavy heart that I have to bring this news story to you all today. And the news story is regarding Mikayla Miller. Mikayla Miller. This is her picture, ladies and gentlemen. She died after having a fight. A young black teen, Mikayla Miller. Here's what we know. Miller's case drew statewide attention this week, but many facts about the 16-year-old's death are still unclear. Hopkinton, Massachusetts. 1 week ago, the death of Mikayla Miller had received almost no attention outside Hopkinton. But over the past week, after intense media attention and new details released by law enforcement, the case is well known across the state and has drawn the attention of politicians like U.S. Senator Ed Markey, U.S. Representative Ayanna Pressley, and State Senate President Karen Spilka. But even after heightened attention, many facts about the case are unclear. Miller's family and supporters have alleged the teen may have been lynched, and that state police, Hopkins Police, and Middlesex County District Attorney Marianne Ryan have tried to write off the death as just a suicide. Law enforcement has largely rejected the lynching claims. Ryan held a midweek news conference to show her office is taking the matter seriously, saying the investigation is open and ongoing. A week after the case jumped onto the statewide scene, here's what we know and don't know about the death of Mikayla Miller. Who was Mikayla Miller? The 16-year-old was a Hopkinton High School sophomore, a basketball player, and an honor student. According to mother Kavina Struthers, Miller, who was a member of the LGBTQIA community, wanted to attend a historically black college or university to study journalism. Mikayla wasn't a troubled child. She was a joy to her family, friends, and teammates, Struthers said in a GoFundMe appeal. She was never arrested or even suspended from school. Mikayla was a loving daughter, niece, and friend to so many. How did Mikayla die? Miller was found the morning of April 18th in a wooded area called Berry Acres, about a quarter mile from the apartment complex where she lived in Hopkinton, according to a trail map. Law enforcement officials will not comment about the circumstances of Miller's death, even after serious allegations raised by Struthers and activists like Violence in Boston's Monica Cannon Grant. At a rally for Miller in Hopkinton on Thursday, former Boston City Councilor and activist Tito Jackson said Miller was found with a belt around her neck, up against a tree. Struthers has also said police told her on the morning of April 18th that her daughter had committed suicide. The officer stated that Mikayla had left the house the night before and prematurely concluded that Mikayla committed suicide without fully completing an investigation in a report from the medical examiner, Struthers said on the GoFundMe page. That clashes with what Ryan has said. The details about the cause and manner of Miller's death won't be released until a medical examiner completes an autopsy. That process could take up to 3 months. On a Friday morning, Cannon Grant said an independent autopsy for Miller was in the works. Asked if the autopsy process could be sped up, a spokesperson for Ryan said they will allow a coroner to take the appropriate time to come to a ruling. Who else was involved? At a news conference Tuesday, Ryan said Miller met with four teenagers on April 17th. A fifth teenager was nearby inside a car at Miller's apartment complex. Miller and the four teens, two boys, two girls, got into some kind of fight between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. that evening. Miller left with a bloody lip. Struthers has said her daughter was jumped by the other teens, and she did report the incident to Hopkinton police. Struthers said Thursday at least two of the teens were 18 years old. Ryan said the teens were white and Latina. On Thursday, Ryan's office told Patch the investigation is open about who started the fight on April 17th. It has also been rumored that one or more of the teens Miller fought with was the son or daughter of a Hopkinton police officer. Ryan's office told Patch, "We have no information at this time that supports that." What happened after the fight? Ryan said Miller left her home around 10 p.m. on April 17 and walked into a nearby wooded area. Cell phone data shows Miller only walked about 1,300 steps, which equals the distance from her home where her body was found. Struthers said Thursday it would be impossible to tell where Miller traveled because her cell phone data was off and she didn't have a Wi-Fi connection in the woods. Violence in Boston's Monica Cannon Grant has also said Miller sent a Snapchat message after she left her apartment, which may have alerted others to her whereabouts. Miller's body was found by a jogger before 8 a.m. on April 18th. Where were the other teens that night? Ryan has said the four teenagers who fought with Miller were all accounted for between the night of April 17th and the next morning. The two boys were traveled west along the Mass Pike with a relative and later seen on surveillance footage eating at Wendy's in Sturbridge around 9 p.m. Two of the girls were together and accounted for during the overnight hours, Ryan has said. The fifth girl, the one who was waiting in the car, was vouched for by a relative, according to the DA. Not all the teenagers were from Hopkinton, but Ryan's office won't say where the others were from. Is the FBI involved? No, but Cannon Grant and Struthers want an independent investigation and have specifically asked for the FBI to look into the matter. Asked about the need for an independent investigation, Ryan's spokesperson told Patch, "We are committed to a thorough and transparent investigation and have committed to making all records public at its conclusion." Now I want you guys to listen to the way Mikayla's mother describes Mikayla, because so many times in the media, the mainstream media, they have a tendency to bring out all the negatives about the victim, especially when they are a member of our family. So let's pay attention and listen to Calvina Struthers describe her daughter.
Nothing I say today is going to take away the pain that we all are experiencing in this new world without Mikayla. But my hope is that by sharing a little bit about her life, our life, it will help you get to know more about her. You know the old saying, two peas in a pod. That was us. My daughter was bright, funny, funny, loving, caring, and loved me to death. We had a bond that is indescribable. She had her own room and bathroom, and I had my own room and bathroom, and we'd meet in the middle just to hang out. I would text her every night to interrupt whatever she was doing, so she could make me tea. She loved making me tea. Sometimes she would do it without me texting her. No one made chamomile tea for me like Mikayla. I like it hot with no sugar.
Yeah, we got it.
I woke up one day a few years ago and I decided I wanted to go and buy a new car. And Mikayla and I picked out an E350 Mercedes Benz, and we drove off the lot to Weymouth and parked at a 7-Eleven, rolled down the windows and opened the doors and played trap music, and we started dancing in the parking lot. That was us. We love to travel. Our favorite quick getaway spots were Maine and New Hampshire. That was our thing. She loved the ocean and camping. I'm never gonna be able to do that for her again.
We're here for you. Take your time.
We did everything. We went to Point Sebago every summer. We do water sports, barbecues, and ventured out into different parts of Maine. We went to Trinidad together for 7 days when Mikayla was 10. Her dad was from Trinidad. The plan was to go back again. We went to Point de Spain, the little villages, Maracas Bay, amongst a lot of other places in the world that we traveled to. She was also quite often my dinner date. We go out to dinner and Mikayla wanted to sit in the car after she ate on her phone because I ate too slow. Anyone who knows Mikayla knows she loves food, all food, but buffalo chicken, anything, was her favorite. I would also tease her about her 16-year-old stomach because she could eat almost anything. Mikayla was only 16 years old. She was my bright and shining star in this crazy world. She was a good listener and had a kind heart. And although she was only 16 years old, she gave better advice to others in times of need than I did. She was calm and laid back and gave her opinion only when asked. But when she did, you knew the truth was coming. She was a mediator and always brought both sides together. It was draining, but she wanted peace and serenity. She wanted everyone to just be happy. Sometimes to the detriment of herself. She was very altruistic, and although I would get mad sometimes, that was Mikayla.
So, family, that was Mikayla's mom describing how Mikayla, the type of person Mikayla was. It breaks my heart to even say was. There's so many questions surrounding her death that we still have no answers for, family. And it's just quite troubling to me. And so here's my commentary on this story. What we did not hear in the report that I read was that once Mikayla's mom was notified that her daughter was dead, she was told by a Sergeant O'Brien, a state trooper, told her not to report Mikayla's death to the media because she should not have her daughter brought to the spotlight because her daughter is a part of the LGBTQIA community. This was a public official advising a grieving parent not to talk to the media. If that doesn't raise a question in you guys' mind, then we can just go with the narrative that she committed suicide. Secondly, what we did not read or you did not hear in that report that I read is that there were no reports found in the police department, no record of Mikayla and her mother speaking with a police official to report the fight that happened earlier that evening. The mother went to the police station, I believe a week later, looking for the report. There's no report of the incident. She called the police to her home to report the fight, report that her daughter had been jumped by 4 teenagers, 2 of which was 18 years old. And there's no police report. Thirdly, after Mikayla's body was found in the woods, there's no report on that either, guys, brothers and sisters. There's no report of indicating when her body was found, the condition her body was found in. What we're getting, the information that we know in regards to the manner of death, we're getting from the DA. But then all of the evidence have not been brought forth to the public, so they're basically picking and choosing what you should know in regards to what happened to our sister. This case is highly suspicious, and there's some reports that's coming out that said that she was actually tied to a tree. They're saying that she committed suicide and hung herself. You're going to start to hear all kind of allegations regarding her mother, how she was a bad mother. You're going to start to hear all kind of allegations on how Mikayla was suicidal because of a recent breakup with her girlfriend. All of these things are going to start to come out. But what we need to know is why we don't have any official police reports from the police department in regards to the altercation that was reported by Mikayla and her mother. We need to see that report. We need to know why no one has been charged with assault after a report was made that a assault took place with names of the individuals. These weren't random teenagers. Mikayla knew her assailants. and was able to name them. And the police have not charged anyone with anything, probably because there is no report. And so, family, like I said, it's with very, very heavy heart that I had to bring this story, because once again, we have to deal with losing a young person in our community. And this case is very reminiscent of Kawan Charles, whose body was found in a rice ditch after being last seen with his white so-called friends. Brothers and sisters, it's very important that you know the company that your children are keeping. Until they are grown and gone, you make it your business to know their business. It is your job to guide them, because they have no clue. Some of us are 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60 years old. And we've all been 15, 16, 18 years old. They've never been 40, 30, 50, or 60. So they don't know it all. They need us to help them and guide them, to help them make better choices about the company that they keep. Right now, the other side, they're in straight denial. I was listening to a podcast, not going to even give the name of the podcast, but I just wanted to find out what the other side was saying about this matter. And I'm here to tell you, they really believe that Mikayla committed suicide. And we know that that is just not our MO. We don't hang ourselves from trees, considering our history. So I'm just going to ask you guys to keep Mikayla's family in your prayers. Rest in power, my sister. Rest in power. I pray that I don't have to do another one of these news stories anytime soon. Just want to go ahead and say thank you for watching Major TV. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment below. Let us know how you feel about this heartbreaking story. I am Achoti Tamar. This has been Major TV, Black News, Black Talk, and Entertainment. Shalom.